Hello. Good evening and welcome everyone to the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship, the Season 11 Silver Quarterfinals 3, the USGS United Gladiators versus the SVKM Blazing Strikers. We're all in readiness. The toss won by the SVKM Blazing Strikers, and Vishal Patil decides to bowl first. It's the first of the two quarterfinals we played on this ground, and overall the third quarterfinals in this silver edition. The first of which was played between the JBC and Golden Stallions and the Ab Warriors, which was won in the super over right in the end by the Golden Stallions. And the second quarterfinals was between the Dynamic Strikers SVKM, another SVKM side that we are seeing in this tournament, versus the Roaring Lions. Completely outfoxed the Roaring Lions, and Dynamic Strikers have gone through to the semi-finals. Now this game, it all comes down to this. The semi-finals will be played on this ground itself. The winner of this game will go ahead from the pavilion end. It's going to be Rajesh Jain with the new ball. And we are ready for live action from the Air India ground. Kalina starts off with a wide, and that's going to be runs as well. Salt in the wounds of the fast bowler and runs straight away. A couple of them. Look at him go. Deepak Modgil. Running back for the second. No delivery has been bowled yet, and already 3 runs on the board. Just the start that the Gladiators needed. Rajesh. This time is much better. Onto the pads, but straight towards mid-wicket. Trying to find the meat of the blade. Deepak. Deepak Modgil and Yatin Mora, the two batters in the crease. Oh, that's a good shout. That's a heavy shout, and that should be a close call. But the umpire says down the leg side. The ball swung in on that occasion. Some in swing for Rajesh that we've seen in the 2 deliveries that he's bowled so far. It's a good pitch to bat on first up. Rajesh now. Oh, this time it's played in the air. Beautifully timed. That should be the first boundary of the bat of Deepak Modgil. Beautifully timed, beautifully placed over the bowler's head. And no chance for the fielder at mid-off. The first 4 overs, the mandatory power play. And the batting side would be looking to capitalize as much as they can in the first 4 overs. The rules are slightly different here at the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship, where 4 mandatory overs, the first 4 are the power play overs, and then you get the 2 overs which are optional between 11 to 16. That delivery again overpitched and driven beautifully down the ground, but that's not going to find him any run. You wouldn't mind that. Deepak has got off to a good start. The team has got off to a good start, and the dugout suddenly starts to believe that, any score exceeding 170 should be a decent, reasonable total. And look at that again, going down the ground. Wanted to take a single, but that's very well fielded by the fielder at mid-on. Running to his left and certainly stopped a couple of runs. You're playing here at the Air India Cricket Club, Air India Sports Club, live in Kalina. This is the Season 11 of the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. Last ball of the first over, Rajesh. It's played down the ground, chance of a catch, but the ball just falling short of the fielder at mid-off. somehow manages to get a good comeback done in the end by Rajesh, and that's the end of the first over. It's 7 for no loss after 1. So after 1 over, the score is 7 for no loss for the USGS United Gladiators, and it's going to be Hiren Patel bowling the new ball from the pavilion end. The second over of the power play, and Yatin Mora on strike. Oh, that's very well played into the onside. There's a mix-up in the centre, but both the batters safely running back to their own end. And Deepak, he was scampering through towards the return crease because a direct hit would have been a close call. And that's the last thing that the Gladiators want. There's a run out this time outside off stump. Tried to cut the ball, but very well kept by the wicket keeper. And it's going to be a wide. First extras for Hiren from this end. The SVKM Blazing Strikers won the toss, elected to bowl first. And, they'd be looking to restrict for as less as they can. This time, caressed down the ground. There's a fielder at long off. Does very well. Going to his left and stops the ball. It's going to be a single, and that's the first run for Yatin in this game. Tanpreet Sahani, the fielder at long off. Looks like one of the more athletic and a little quicker off the blocks as compared to any other player that we've seen so far in this tournament. Deepak on strike. This time outside off stump, tried to cut the ball again, but this time the umpire. No movement from him. Certainly the ball moved a fair bit. Was outside off stump and it just kept swinging away from Deepak. He tried to reach, but in the end, the ball just skids through this fresh surface. This time outside off stump in the air. Chance of a catch. No, it just evades the fielder at point. It's going to be a chase, but the ball will win the race in the end. And that's another boundary for Deepak. The score goes moving. And the Gladiators love that. Each run being cheered by the team dugout. They lost the toss, but had a word with the captain before the game. Sunny Nagpal, he was quite convinced that win or lose the toss, he knew that he would have gotten a chance to bat first because SVKM had decided that they were going to bowl. And Nagpal wanted to bat this time in the air. There's a fielder under it. Can he take the catch? Oh, he's dropped it. A golden opportunity missed here. A lifeline gifted to Deepak Modgil. He tried to hit it down the ground. Credit to Tanpreet Sahani because he covered a fair bit of ground. He was standing way at long off. Ran towards his right. He got to the ball. Should have taken that. He must be so disappointed with himself. But now he needs to focus because Yatin Mora is on strike. The last ball of the second over. Onto the pads. They want a quick single. A good throw in the end, but that's good running between the wickets. Deepak running to the danger end. And that's the end of the second over. It's 15 without loss for the United Gladiators. Start of a new over now. There's a loud appeal and given out. Yatin Mora has to go back to the pavilion. The first breakthrough, swing across the line. And the umpire, no hesitation whatsoever in raising the finger. Going wide of the crease on that occasion and completely missed the ball. Trying to maneuver it square on the leg side. And that should be curtains for Yatin Mora. A short stay at the crease. Would be so disappointed. Throwing his wicket away. It's 15 for 1 here for the United Gladiators. The first wicket falling in the third over. And the new man in, Lokesh Raghani. The new man in, Lokesh Raghani, a left-handed batter. There's been a scarcity of left-handers in this tournament. But surely, every left-hander that we've seen so far in this Bayside Sports School Dads Championship cricket has been graceful and elegant. First ball, back off a line delivery. Played onto the back foot. Rajesh Jain giving the pivotal breakthrough that his side needed. They won the toss, elected to bowl first. And just the start that they wanted. Not given away a lot of runs in the first 2 overs. And now they've got a wicket as well. It's bowling round the wicket to Lokesh Raghani. Sam outside off stump cuts the ball. He wanted a single, but it went straight to the hands of the fielder at extra cover. He's hitting the hard length at all times. He's bowling in the right areas. And Lokesh, he knows that the first 4 overs are power play. Post that, it's going to be quite difficult. But look at that shot. Beautifully played through the covers. But there was a fielder there at extra cover. Straight in the hands of the fielder. No run taken. Was timed beautifully. It's been such a good over so far. 4 deliveries, no runs scored in this over yet. And a big wicket of Yatin Mora. This time trying to cut the ball, completely misses it. The ball is just skidding through the surface for both the opening bowlers, Hiren and Rajesh. And Lokesh trying to just use the pace of the ball and play it through point. Didn't get any sort of connections. 5 dot balls. So much pressure when you're playing this tournament. This is the 3rd quarter final. The winner shall progress ahead in the semis. It's a beautiful delivery. There's an appeal there, but the umpire says not out. And a very, very, very successful over. A maiden wicket. The first of its kind in this knockout stage of the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. So at the end of 3 overs, it's 15 for 1. At the end of 3 overs, it's 15 for 1. The first maiden in this knockout phase of the Bayside Sports School Lads Cricket Championship. Rajesh bowled a phenomenal over. 3 overs, 15 for 1. It's going to be Hiren who's be continuing from the pavilion end. Deepak will be on strike. It's a fielder at long off and a sweeper cover. Perfectly placed. This time onto the pads, plays it into the gap. It should be at least a single, if not more, and the ball. Oh, look at that timing. The ball is going towards the fence, and that will be a boundary. There was not much power in the shot. It was extremely well placed. He found the gap, and there were no fielders square on the leg side. The fielder at mid-wicket, long chase. Only to get the ball back from the boundary. And a boundary of the very first ball of this last over of the power play. 19 for 1. Same outside off stump, cuts it really well, but straight to the fielder at point. A shy at the bowler's end, but Lokesh had made his ground. Already hit 3 boundaries in this innings, Deepak. It's looking in fine touch. There was an opportunity missed in the previous over that Hiren bowled from this end. It was a straightforward catch to Tanpreet at long off. This time playing across the line again. Finds the gap, a slight misfield. It should be at least a single, if not more. Lokesh running back, but Deepak knew that he was running towards a danger end. A good call in the end. 20 for 1 now. A partnership is what the United Gladiators need here. They've lost the toss and been put into bat first. It's a fresh pitch, mind you. So they have the time to settle in. And it's just going to get tougher as the game goes on. We saw the game yesterday. The first quarterfinals that was played between the JBCN Golden Stallions and the Ab Warriors that ended in a super over. A tie. Very seldom do we see that in tournaments. This time Lokesh trying to play it on the onside. Hoiked it between mid-wicket and mid-on, and that's going to be his first boundary. Opens the account with a 4. It's very well placed. There was a fielder at mid-wicket in catching position, but Lokesh knew. And he got just the right amount of elevation that was needed. Getting his first boundary of the innings. It's been an expensive over so far. Already 9 runs coming off it, with a couple of deliveries to spare. This time outside off stump, driven towards mid-off. He wanted to take the single, but it was very well timed. Now the last ball of the power play, the mandatory power play. Hiren Patel. Very well played towards mid on a quick single. A clean pickup would have been a close call, but the ball just bounced awkwardly. At the end of 4 overs, it's 25 for 1 for the USGS United Gladiators. At the end of 4 overs, it's 25 for 1. Change of ends. Devendra Sahni. First ball down the leg side. That's going to be runs and a bad delivery to start off the over. There's going to be at least a couple, and in the end, oh, the ball wins the race. It was kind of a teasing boundary. To be honest to you, the ball did deserve to go to the fence because it was down the leg side, and I'm sure Davendra knows himself that it was not the best of his deliveries that we've seen him bowl throughout the tournament. Pitched outside leg stump, and there is no one in the deep on the leg side. Square of the wicket, behind square. The power play is over, so we will see more than 4 fielders outside the inner ring. This time a full toss. It's been driven towards the fielder at cover, but shall be cut off by the fielder at long off. Tanpreet. He's been everywhere. Deepak. He'll be on strike. 30 for 1 now. The score for the United Gladiators. This is the third quarter final of the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. The silver edition this time. In the air. That's been played high in the air. There's a chance there, but Tanpreet won't be able to reach to the ball, and that's going to be another boundary. Slightly overpitched and picked up by Deepak. He's looked in fine touch since he's got to the crease. And an overpitch delivery asking to be hit. It's his 4th boundary in the innings. He's batted superbly so far. 3 fielders behind point on the offside. Point, a backward point, and a short third man inside the circle, and a covers as well. Packed offside field, and that's well bowled. Outside off stump. Let it go. He knows that it's a trap that has been set by Davendra. Bowling outside off stump. Full and wide. Enforcing that drive. But Deepak hasn't fallen into the trap yet. Time in the air. There's a fielder under it. Can he get to it? No, he cannot. Falls in no man's land. It's going to be a single. Very well fielded in the end by Tanpreet. Had a lot of ground to cover. Just fell between long on and the fielder at mid-wicket who was inside the circle. Was backtracking. A tad too fortunate in the end. Deepak Modgil. Davendra. This time, look at that. He uses his wrist to perfection. It's going to be at least a couple of runs. Well, it should be. They're running back. Slight hesitation in the middle, but 2 runs taken in the end. So at the end of 5 overs, it's 37 for 1. The last ball of the 5th over. It looked like it was stopped very well, but the replay showed that the ball had hit the fence in an attempt to stop the ball. And the umpire, stand-in umpire Ronnie Mistry, he's got a hawk eye. Signalling boundary. So the end of 5 overs is 39 for 1 now. And there is a change in bowling. Aniket Vanzare He's going to be bowling. Right arm. Off spinner. Oh, what a start that has been. Beautiful delivery. Outside off stump. Skids through. Expecting the off spinner, the conventional off spinner. But Aniket had some other plans. The ball skidded through the surface. Very, very well bowled. A good delivery to start off with. Aniket just making a few changes, knowing the way Deepak has batted. He's very good down the ground. Very well bowled. Uses his wrist to play the ball towards mid-wicket, but there's protection as well. A good field set here. Short third man, backward point, covers and mid-wicket all inside the circle. Long on, long off, sweeper cover, deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg. The fielders on the boundary. The over rate has been good so far. Quick changes. Oh, there's an appeal here. Oh, that's a very good delivery. Very, very good delivery. Tried to play it on the onside. And the wicketkeeper as well did well to get hold of the ball. Up next, Aniket. Flatter through the air. Another dot ball. Play straight towards cover. It's been a good over so far. 4 dot balls back to back. Deepak looking well set, but in this over, it's just been a different ball game altogether. This is good bowling. He's changed the length. He's changed the pace as well. The ball before this was a little slow through the air, but that one quicker through the air. Back of a length as well. And now, for the 5th delivery of this over, Aniket lines up. Very well bowled. Played back to the bowler. Deepak is well not looking in any kind of rush. He knows that it's been a good start. He doesn't need to throw it away. 19 of 19 and 5 dot balls. This could be the first game where you would have 2 maidens if he manages to bowl 1 more dot ball here. Oh, there's an appeal. There's an appeal here. And they run through as well. That's good running between the wickets. There was an appeal. The bowler, wicketkeeper and the fielders, all of them, they thought that the umpire would give a decision in their favour, but in the end, just fell short and they ran through. Signal leg byes by the umpire. It was a very good over. New man in now. Rahul Shah. From the far end, left arm around the wicket. Outside off stump. Very well played, in fact. He'll get a single there. Gives the strike back to the left-hander. And that's more like it. That's what Deepak needs to do more often than not, because the dot balls just bring more and more pressure to the non-striker batter. But on this occasion, Lokesh, who's looked good so far, strong for his 14 of 11, 3 boundaries in it. He'll be looking to fancy his chances. The boundary on the leg side for Lokesh is not the biggest. There's a clearable boundary. All this ground is one of the bigger grounds that you can find in Mumbai. Rahul to Lokesh. Back of a line delivery played towards cover. And they wanted a single, but sent back by Deepak. Deepak doesn't want to take any sort of risks. It's a good clean pickup and a good throw as well in the end. Deepak would be running to the danger end. That could have been curtains for him. This time a full toss on the leg side. Very well played. There is a fielder in the deep. It should just be a single. A low full toss. Quite risky. Lokesh. The bowlers have bowled really smartly. They've changed the lengths time to time. They've changed the lines as well. To different batters, there have been different tactics and plans. And now, Deepak on strike. 20 of 22 for him. Needs to get going now. Trying to sweep the ball. There is an appeal, but the keeper didn't get hold of the ball. It was a good delivery outside off stump. Trying to sweep on that occasion, Deepak, from way outside off stump. He was in no position to play that shot. And that's good bowling as well. Reading the movement of the batter. Flighted delivery this time, played towards mid-wicket. A quick single. Chance of a run out if he collects cleanly, but no. They scamper through. A quick single taken. And that's good batting by this pair. Score moving on to 43. 6.5 overs have been bowled. The last ball of the 7th over. Oh, very well played. Very, very well played. The ball is just going through and has gone for a boundary. Was outside off stump. Played the cut shot to perfection. Pierced the point and the short third man fielder. So after 7 overs, it's 47 now for 1. After 7 overs, it's 47 for 1. Deepak on strike. Aniket Vansre will be continuing from the far end. Outside off stump this time. Way outside off stump. Signaled as a wide. He's bowled really well today. The first over, a maiden. And now, the first runs of his bowling was outside off stump. Way outside off stump. Aniket to Deepak. Flight delivery this time. It's in the air. Chance of a catch, but it just falls short. Was it a chance? We'll have to see in the slow motion replay. Was leading edge. Back to the bowler. He's diving ahead. A difficult chance, but another opportunity gone begging. This time he plays across the line. He's found the gap. There's a chase, but the ball will win the race again. A welcome boundary of the bat of Deepak now. It's been a while since he scored and cleared the boundary. The boundary brings the 50 up for the United Gladiators. It was a high-risk shot because he played completely across the line. But the timing and placement was quite precise for Deepak. Aniket would be looking to make a comeback here. He's bowled well so far. This time, the ball just stopping onto the batter. Pulled his length back. And he got into the shot way too early, Deepak. He expected a quicker one. But very, very well bowled by Aniket. Slower through the air. Just stopping onto the batter. This time again. Oh, he's got him. He has got him. That's his first wicket. Aniket gets the danger man. Deepak has to go back to the pavilion. And a very, very good partnership comes to an end between this pair. 37 runs were scored in between them. Tried to play across the line. The second wicket has fallen now in the 8th over. 52 for 2. The USGS United Gladiators. You're put into bat. And they were looking good. But Deepak has to go back to the pavilion. New man in now. Sunny Najpal. The captain of the United Gladiators. Just having a quick glance at the field. Still no slip here for the left-handers. An off-spinner against two left-handers. In any given format, there should be a slip present. But I think Aniket is very well planned. His spell, he knows where he wants his fielders. He's focusing on those dot balls. Making some slight changes in the field as well. Now, round the wicket. Sunny. Very first ball placed towards point. In fact, towards sweeper cover. It's going to be a single. Gets off the mark straight away. Last ball of the 8th over. Lokesh on strike. It's been a good over by Aniket. Picked up a big wicket. And that's very well bowled again. Played back to the bowler. End of 8 overs. It's 53 for 2. Change in bowling now. The captain of the SVKM Blazing Strikers, Vishal Patil, is going to be bowling to both the left-handers and off-spinner. Quite a similar field to what was set for Aniket Vanzare. So back of a line delivery, pulls it, it's into the gap, that should be runs. That's very, very well fielded in the deep. At deep backward square leg. Keeps it down to a single. Lokesh on strike now. Oh, he's played it to perfection. That should be a boundary. Didn't even move an inch. A back of a line delivery. Pulled it behind square. Getting 4 runs for it. Looking in fine nick. Lokesh Raghani. It's his 5th boundary. And immediately the captain has made some changes. He knows he can't set field for the bad balls. He'll be looking to make a comeback here, Vishal. Time of flight delivery played down the ground towards the fielder at cover. This is good bowling. He's going for the wicket. He's not trying to Bowl very defensive here. It's very well bowled and very well played as well towards sweeper cover. It's going to be a single here. Gives the strike back to the captain now, Sain Ajpal. Oh, what a shot this one. Through the covers. A big chase for the fielder at long off, but the ball will win the race. That's his first boundary. Captain Sain Akpal announces his arrival. Caressed through the covers. Flighted delivery. Overpitched. Paying the price. Vicky Patil on that occasion. 10 runs off this over. This time plays with soft hands, and that's brilliant cricket. Got a boundary of the last ball. Immediately looked for a single. And keep strike. The end of 9 overs. 64 for 2 for the United Gladiators. After 9 overs, it's 64 for 2. Aniket got a big wicket of Deepak in the previous over. He's going to be continuing the proceedings from the far end. It's his third over, and what a delivery. Straight up, but very well played with soft hands towards point, and a quick single taken as well. These two are very quick between the wickets. Somehow the Usgs United Gladiators have maintained the run rate of 7. Wickets have fallen at regular intervals, but that's not stopped them from getting those boundaries time to time. This time Lokesh trying to go across the line, and that's another wicket. Tried to play across the line. Completely missed the ball. You miss, I hit. And Aniket, his perseverance has paid off in the end. And the ploy of keeping an off-spinner against the two left-handers has certainly provided them with a breakthrough. It's good captaincy by Vishal Patil. Trying to play an aggressive stroke on the leg side. A quick drinks break taken there by both the sides and the umpire. And a much needed one here for the blazing strikers. Chance to regroup and replan as to how they want to go about things in the last 10 overs. 65 for 3. And Aniket has been the pick of the bowlers. 2.2 overs, 2 for 7. Also made in bold the first over of his spell. The new man in, Kamesh Shah. Shah is on strike. Wansre over the wicket. What a delivery. It missed everyone. The batter and the wicketkeeper as well. It's a long chase here for the fielder at short third man. He will get to the ball. Recovers really well. A couple of runs taken there. By signal by the umpire. And what a delivery. Out of nowhere. Turn and bounce. A very difficult pitch for a wicketkeeper as well. It came in between the bat and pad. And just missed the stumps by a whisker. Could have been curtains on the very first ball. Oh, look at that. Very well bowled. There's a loud appeal. Loud appeal. Ronnie Mistri's unmoved. Ronnie Mistri's unconvinced. But looks like the square leg umpire has given him up. Stumped. There was a huge appeal there. The previous delivery turning square and this one going on with the arm. That's good bowling. Credit to the bowler first, but the wicketkeeper lightning quick to dislodge the bails. For a moment I thought he was appealing for the catch because he ran towards the umpire, the stand-in umpire, but the umpire at square leg has given that out. And the news that I'm getting from the center is that the leg umpire, he just clarified that the ball hit the stumps before the keeper dislodged the bails. So he's been given out bold now. The new man in now, Vimarsh. That's a very good delivery. He wants a single, chance of a run out. Gets back in time. It's been a tidy over again. It's good bowling. It's kept the pressure on Aniket. Bowled in good areas. He's given away 7 runs and picked up 3 wickets in the 2.5 overs that he's bowled. Also bowling a maiden in the first over of his spell. 67 for 4, the last ball before the 10th over. Plays it down the ground. Beautifully timed. But there is a fielder in the deep. It should be just a single. And at the end of 10 overs, it's 68 for 4 for the USGS United Gladiators. At the end of 10 overs, it's 68 for 4. The United Gladiators in a spot of bother. Back-to-back wickets in the last over. A good spell by Aniket Wansre so far. 3 for 8 in his 3 overs. The captain Saini Nagpal is on the crease for the United Gladiators. Along with him, it's Vimarsh Parekh, new bowler, Rohan Pitre. Oh, that's a beautiful action as well. An unconventional, unorthodox, but highly effective action. The very first ball, bang on money. Bowling at the 6-meter mark. Rohan to continue. Tossed up delivery. That one kept low. First signs of this pitch. Tossed up delivery. To be honest, the delivery was not that short. But the batsman going on to the back foot, Vimarsh, trying to cut the ball. And just skidded through, kept low a little. But very well kept in the end by the wicketkeeper this time. Again, back of a delivery, played towards the fielder at cover. He wanted a single, but the fielder at cover really quick to move to his right and keep it down to another dot ball. This is very, very good bowling and fielding as well. And credit to the captain, Vishal Patil, who's kept rotating his bowlers. This time flight delivery, played down the ground. It's going in the gap as well. Should be at least a single. And that's about it. Was a tossed up delivery, luring the batsman into the drive. And the batsman playing across the line, trying to find the leg side boundary. Boundary on the leg side for a right-hander from the pavilion end is the short one. That's why Vimarsh was trying to target the cow corner. Didn't really get good connection on it. However, Saini Nagpal, can he prove to be the anchor man? This time outside off stump, cuts it towards sweeper cover. It's going to be a single. Saini looks really compact, a beautiful left-handed batter. Like I said earlier, there were not many left-handers in this tournament. But the little number of left-handers that we've seen, all have been graceful and elegant, as always. Rohan, last ball of his first over. He's got off to a good start. Just a couple of runs given here. And the pressure is mounting up on the batters now. This time plays it down the ground. But there is protection there. So at the end of 11 overs, it's 70 for 4 for the United Gladiators. A little surprised here. Change in bowling. Aniket is not going to be finishing his spell. Something out of the box from the captain Vishal. He's given the ball to his strike bowler. The bowler who opened the bowling, Rajesh Jain. He's picked up a wicket early on. He's now coming round the wicket to captain Sunny, and he's beautifully played it towards square leg. There's a misfield there. Should be a couple of runs. But he's sent back. Wow, that should have been a 2, but I think Sunny just slipped at the non-striker's end. The fielder at square leg gets away with it. The captain wouldn't have liked it. You know, each run counts when you're playing the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. The competition is fierce. This match is a knockout game. It's the third of its kind in the silver category. Third knockout game, third quarter final that we're witnessing here. The JBCN Golden Stallions and the SVKM Dynamic Strikers have gone through. Slow delivery this time, picked up towards long off, chance of a catch. Tanpreet with a long chase, but a beautiful effort in the end. It is a boundary. It was very well tried by Tanpreet. He was running towards his left. Credit to the batsman here. Vimarsh picked up the slow delivery very well. Tanpreet, a valiant effort in the end, but 4 runs for the taking. Perfectly placed. And it's the first boundary of the bat of Vimarsh. 75 for 4. It's the 12th over of the innings. Still a lot of cricket left today. Very well bowled. Back of a line delivery. Played with soft hands back to the bowler. Like I said, a lot of cricket left today. This is the third silver category quarterfinals. We have our first quarterfinals of the platinum category to be played after this game. That's going to be between the SVKM Super Strikers and the JNS Mustangs. This time outside off stump, cuts it beautifully behind square, and that should be a boundary. This brilliant batting. Counter-attacking cricket. The United Gladiators, they would be pleased with this effort put in by Vimarsh Parekh. It was outside off stump, slashed it hard. The fielder at sweeper cover had no chance whatsoever. Had a lot of ground to cover. In the end, the ball was very, very well timed. 79 now the score for the loss of 4 wickets. This is the 12th over of the game. The current run rate, 6.7. Look at that driven again towards cover. Fielder at long off. Will cut it off. 10 runs of this over now with that single. It's been an expensive over. In the context of the game, because the way the pressure has been put by the bowling side, the SVKM Blazing Strikers, they've put the pressure. They've kept, they're cool, they're calm. But this over is just the start, it looks like, from Vimarsh Parekh. Captain on strike now, Sain Akpal. Rajesh. Very well bowled. Very, very well bowled. That's more like it. At the end of 12 overs, it's 80 for 4 for the United Gladiators. Start of a fresh over now for Rohan. He's bowled a very good first over. This time played down the ground. Hits it hard towards long off. There is Tanpreet. Positioned exactly for such a stroke. Non-strike now comes the captain. Saeed Nagpal. He's batting on 10 runs of 8 balls. He's hit a boundary already, but he has to bat through the innings. We saw a magnificent knock yesterday in the first quarter-final of the silver category by Paras Zaveri. He scored 85 runs. Batted through the innings from the very first ball till the very end. He should do something like that, Sunny. It's very well played towards sweeper. It's going to be another single. And I think the singles and doubles should keep on happening. You know, the way these two are going, the partnership worth 14-15 runs now already. The way they're batting, they just need to keep going over by over. Rohan now from the pavilion end. That's a beautiful delivery. Plays with soft hands. The projected score from this run rate is anything around 130. But they need to get exceeding 160 at least. Because the pitch just gets better with the dew factor coming in play. It's never easy, and that's more like it. That's a shot down the ground. Didn't get a whole meat of it, but should be a single. And that's good bowling by Rohan as well. He's just luring the batsman to play a false stroke. Bowling it slower through the air. Trying to get as much purchase as he can from the pitch. This time outside off stump. Back of a line delivery. This is good bowling by Rohan. A single taken by Sunny. And these singles will just keep the momentum on for the United Gladiators. Because they need to get to a respectable total. A total good enough for the bowlers to have something to have a go at. And mind you, there are still those 2 overs left in the batting power play that can be taken any time from 11th to the 16th over. So the eligibility is on. We'll just have to wait and see. And look at that. He's picked it up over covers. But there is a fielder there. The timing was brilliant. And from here in the comm box, it looked like it was in the gap. But at the end of 13 overs, it's 85 for 4. Thirteen overs, 85 for 4. Rahul brought in the attack. Loud appeal, a huge appeal, and the umpire gives him out. The danger man goes. Vimarsh Parekh is looking promising. It's beautiful bowling changes here by Vishal Patil. He knows the game plan. He studied every batter for the silver category quarterfinal number 3. And the ball just skid through on that occasion. There was no chance for getting away. That's the 5th wicket for the United Gladiators. The 5th wicket falls here for the United Gladiators, and the new man in, Ritesh Bhalani. South side off stump, let's go. Wide signaled by the umpire. Ritesh has a reputation of scoring those big hits. Again, outside off stump, drives it through the covers. There's a fielder there in the deep. Should be cut off. Should be a single, but it's brilliant cricket by Rahul. Gives the single to the aggressive batter. And now brings Sunny, the captain, back on strike. He's batting on 12 of 10. Scored a boundary already. He knows that the job is just half done. 8 and over from here can help you reach the 150 mark. Back of line delivery played towards point. Should be a quick single. Score moving on to 88 now. It's bowled really well, Rahul. Picked up the big wicket of Vimarsh Parikh earlier in this over. This time a short delivery played into the leg side. There's a fielder in the deep. And Vishal has been really clinical with the field placements as well and the bowling changes. Just when you think that you figured him out, he pulls a bunny out of the hat and confuses everyone. .89 for 5 now. Sunny Nagpal on strike. Full toss. Pulls it into the gap. And there is a fielder in the deep. It was a juicy full toss. Should have been put away. But only finds the fielder at deep mid wicket. It's going to be a single. These loose deliveries have to be put away time to time because that's what will bring the pressure back on the bowlers. The more you miss out on the loose deliveries, the more confident the fielding team and the bowling team gets. Ritesh trying to go big on the offside. Got an inside edge, but fortunately didn't go back at the stumps. 14 overs, 90 for 5 for the United Gladiators. The power play, the batting power play has been taken now by the batting side. Sunny with Ritesh. They know that these 2 overs can switch the momentum completely in their favour. And it's Davendra Sahni in his second over from the pavilion end. Starts off with the back of a length delivery. And a single by Sunny gives the strike back to Ritesh. Ritesh now would be looking to score as many as he can in these couple of overs that he's got. Some fun rules, some different rules here at the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. 4 mandatory overs of power play right on the top of the innings. And then from 11th to 16th, 2 overs can be taken as a batting power play by the batting side. And the 15th and the 16th over are going to be the couple of overs that are going to be used. Plays it down the ground. There's a fielder there. It is going to be just the single. And the intent that we were talking about from Ritesh Bhalani. He's known for the big hits. He's known to take the attack to the bowlers. That's what he tried to do on that occasion. Couldn't find the boundary. There is a fielder at long on. Perfectly placed for Ritesh. There was a sweeper cover as well. Quite the opposite for Sunny. Time onto the pads. Tried to flick the ball. Got something on it. The ball is going towards the boundary rope. Should be a couple of runs. Sunny will come back for the second. And leg by is signalled by the umpire. Just straying in line a little. If Sunny would have got any kind of bat on it, it would have been a boundary. Because there's no one at deep fine leg. He's batted really well so far, Sunny. He's carried the bat right until the 15th over now. Needs to bat a little more for his side. It's played down the ground. Beautifully timed. Look at that shot. Very, very well played. And that's a boundary in the end. There was an effort by the fielder at long off. Covered a lot of ground. But the ball just kept going away from him. Put a foot out, but couldn't really stop the boundary. And the first boundary of this batting power play coming off the bat of the captain, Sunny Nagpal. 98 for 5 now. The USGS United Gladiators. They lost the toss. They were put into bat first. They're still grinding their way towards a respectable total here. Back of length delivery and he gets him. The perfect comeback by Davindra Sahni. A back of length delivery. Played across the line. And just what the doctor ordered for the SVKM Blazing Strikers. They've been so good with the bowling changes. The bowlers as well have really helped the captain flourish in this third quarter final of the silver category of the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. The big man Sunny has to depart back to the pavilion. Sahni gets his first wicket. Davindra Sahni has gone for a few runs. But as long as he keeps those wickets, picking up those wickets at regular intervals, the captain won't mind that. 98 for 6 now. The new man in. Needs to play second fiddle to Ritesh because from here on, eight and over is something that they'll be looking for. The new man in, Ritesh Kothari. Still one delivery left in this over. It's 98 for 6. Ritesh Kothari on strike and Ritesh Bhalani at the non-strikers end. Davindra. Oh, beautiful delivery. They want a quick single but sent back. And that's the end of the 15th over. It's 98 for 6 for the United Gladiators. 98 for 6. 15 overs have been bowled. The last over of the batting power play. Now change in bowling. The talisman, the player who's picked up 3 wickets for his side. Off spinner Aniket Vanjre bowling from the pavilion, and his last over of the spell. This could be the game-changing move, because an off spinner bowling in the power play is always a high-risk situation. Very well bowled, played towards cover. Quick single taken by Ritesh Bhalani. Gets off strike. The score moving ahead to 99 now. 5 more deliveries remain in this batting power play. Need to capitalize. Need to accelerate as quickly as they can. Score as many as they can. Time onto the pads. They'll run through for a quick single. Wait for the umpire signal. And that's the 100 up with the leg byes signaled by the umpire. Another 40-50 runs from here. Well, surely we'll have a match on our hands. Ritesh Bhalani on strike. Plays it back to the bowler. That's good bowling from Aniket. Setting an example for the young cricketers who are watching this game. That is how you bowl under pressure. That is how you bowl to aggressive batters. And that is how you bowl in power plays. Keeping the length back on that occasion. And that's the wicket that we were talking about. High risk is what I said before this over. But little did I know that it was high reward as well. Ritesh Bhalani, the danger man, goes back to the pavilion. 4 wickets today for Aniket Vanjre. And the United Gladiators crumbling like a pack of cards right in front of our eyes here at the Air India Sports Club, Kalina. The third quarter-finals between the United Gladiators and the SVKM Blazing Strikers. Certainly has gone the Blazing Strikers' way so far. Tried to hoik it towards mid-wicket. Missed the line completely. And Aniket, what a spell this has been. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant bowling by Aniket Vanjre. 4 wickets for him. 4 for 9. And the batting power play move by the SVKM Blazing Strikers has certainly gone against them. Oh, very well played. New man in. Rajesh Jain. Time plays it towards mid-wicket, and that should be the end of the over. What a spell of bowling. 4 overs, 4 for 9 for Aniket Vanjre. Take a bow. 16 overs have been bowled here. And it is 100 for 7 for the United Gladiators. The last 4 overs of the game. 100 for 7 now the score. They need to accelerate. They need to bat the 20 overs. 3 wickets in hand they have. Ritesh, Kothari and Rajesh Jain, the 2 batters at the crease. 24 balls. That's all that they have to score as many as they can possibly. The new bowler, Davindra Sahani, continuing his spell, but from the other end now. From the far end. He's picked up the big wicket of the captain, Sunny Nagpal. Starts off with a wide. Was an appeal there, but the umpire, Ronnie Mistry, a veteran and experienced campaigner, very rarely does he get something wrong. Never seen him under pressure. But certainly the SVKM Blazing Blasters have put all the pressure on the Gladiators. That's been pulled towards square leg. There's a misfield there. There was some miscommunication in the middle. Both the batters, they wanted a run, then decided not to take it. A clean pickup by the fielder at square leg could have resulted in a close call at the bowler's end. 101 for 7, the score for the United Gladiators here. Outside off stump this time, an inside edge, but lucky there. Ritesh Kothari getting a huge inside edge, but fortunately for him, the ball just fell back towards the wicketkeeper. Still a lot to play for here. He played into the onside. They're running the first one hard. That should be a couple of runs at least. But the non-striker has just slipped. What could have been a couple of runs, they just get one for it. The fielder as well was jogging, thinking that they's already given 2 runs, but the non-striker this time drives it towards backward point. It should be at least a single. They're coming back for the second. A good throw, but both the batters really quick between the wickets. Rajesh Jain and Ritesh Kothari. They're trying to get as many runs as they can here in the last few overs. They want to reach that score of 140 at least. And if they can't score those boundaries, the quick running between the wickets certainly helps and benefits the batting side this time. Played down the ground, beautifully played, but there is a fielder at long off, should be a single. It's good bowling, good comeback here by Davendra. Went for a few runs in the first over, but since then he's come back strong. 105 for 7, the last ball of the 17th over. Ritesh Kothari is batting on 1. Whipped into the onside towards long on. Should be just the one. And the end of 17 overs. 106 for 7. Three overs remain in this game now. We'll have to see the captain, who he brings on now to bowl these last 3 overs. Looks like it's Rohan. He's going to be bowling from the far end. The boundary on the leg side is huge for a right-hander to clear. But I'm sure both these batters will fancy the chances. Same very well bowled outside off stump. He'll run through for a quick single. Keeping the ball away from the fuller areas. Trying to bowl back of length. And not allowing the batter to get to the pitch of the ball as well. This is good bowling by Rohan Pitre. It's picked up. In fact, he's not got a wicket yet, but he's been super economical. 2.1 overs, none for 8 for him. He's making some changes in the field. There's a fielder at catching cover. There's a fielder at covers as well, just behind the fielder. Point, short third man, 4 fielders inside the circle, all on the offside. 6-3 on the offside is the field. It's time. Hoiks it onto the onside. It's going to be a chase for the fielder at mid wicket. Should be at least a single. They're coming back for the second. And look at that. The pressure. The pressure brings out the best in you. And that's another boundary. He hit it hard into the onside. The fielder at mid wicket. Give it a long chase. And in the end, a slight fumble has cost SVKM a boundary. The United Gladiators will be elated with each and every run that they get from here on. So more like that. It's been hit hard down the ground towards long on. One bounce to the fielder. And this is good intent shown here by Rajesh. Trying to play as aggressive as he can. You won't get this opportunity to play against an off spinner in the last few overs. Very seldom do we see a spin bowler bowling in the last few overs. This time very well bowled. Rohan changing his length, bowling back off length, and ball just skids through to the wicket keeper. There are 2 fielders behind point, a backward point and a short third man in readiness for the cut shot. Oh, that's very well bowled. And they've taken a quick single as well. That's good running between the wickets. To straight into the hands of the fielder at cover. These two are too quick between the wickets. The score 1-1-3 for 7. The last ball of the 18th over. 17.5 overs have been bowled. Gladiators need to accelerate. Just like that. It's been played towards cover. Quick single. Chance of a run out if he hits. He's just made his ground. It's good running. The end of 18 overs. 114 for 7 for the Gladiators. The 19th over of this game. Davindra in his final over. 1-1-4 for 7 this time. Into the onside, played towards square leg. That's very well fielded by Rahul at short square leg. Would have been a certain boundary if it had passed the fielder there. Perfectly placed for a shot like that. Not the best of deliveries. We certainly got away with that. Did Davindra. Next ball here. This time plays it towards extra cover. Should be a single. He's looking for the second, but it should be just the one. So 115 now the score. Every run counts here. It's partnership worth 15 runs. Could these two notch up another 15 runs for this side? They've lost wickets at regular intervals. That has somewhat been the story for United Gladiators now. This time down the leg side. Wide signaled by the umpire. It's not a good ball, but he somehow gets away with it yet again. If he would have got any kind of bat on it, would have run away for a boundary. Ritesh is on strike now. Slashes it hard towards point and they run through for a single. There is a fielder there. It's been that kind of a day for the United Gladiators. Everything that they've hit has somehow managed to find one of the fielders. And now, on strike, Rajesh. He's hit it high in the air. It's high in the air. There's a fielder under it. And that's a beautiful catch there by Tanpreet. At long on. Running towards his right. Never easy. White ball in the night sky. But he kept his eyes on it. And a clean catch taken. A good running catch taken there by Tanpreet. And the player could have hit a couple of boundaries. Rajesh has to go back to the pavilion. Hit down the ground now for a single. 118 for 8. Kunal Lakhani getting off the strike. Getting off the mark straight away. Right-handed batter. He's come way down the order. Can get those big hits from time to time. Oh, this is a beautiful shot. It's in the air. There's a chance there and he's caught it yet again. What a catch there by Tanpreet. It was high in the air. Looked like a certain sixer when it left the bat. But a beautiful catch yet again by Tanpreet. Just inside the boundary ropes, as you can see. Very, very well done. Safe pair of hands. And the 9th wicket has fallen now. The last man is now entered. Ankit Meswani. It's on the non-striker's end. And Lakhani has gone high in the air. That should be the end of the innings. And it is. Kunal Lakhani trying to go over cover. And a very good catch taken by the fielder at short covers. Davindra. Safe pair of hands. He's picked up 3 wickets already and now an easy catch for him. 118 all out, the United Gladiators. 119 runs to win for the SVKM Blazing Strikers now. We are back here at the Air India Sports Club, and the first ball. Some swing there for Ritesh. And just what we were talking about. The USGS United Gladiators getting all out. And then now, the second delivery again. Something swing in the air. Trying to play across the line. Pankaj Shah. The first innings was completely the blazing strikers' way. They bulldozed over the Gladiators. This time outside off stump. Again a quick delivery, but outside off stump. Way outside off stump. Signaled as a wide by the umpire. This guy's got some pace. Ritesh Bhalani. One of the quickest bowlers I've seen in this year's Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. Feeds the right areas. We have a match on our hands. Pankit on strike. Ritesh from the pavilion end. Oh, that's beautifully driven. And extremely well fielded as well by the fielder at cover. Diving to his right. There was enough pace on the ball to time it to perfection. And he did as well. But that needed some fielding. An excellent effort there. No runs off the bat yet. And this time, just as I said, there are the first runs into the onside towards mid-wicket. Opens his account for the innings, Pankit. Along with Pankit, it's Harshit Jain who's opened the innings. Just a quick word between the two batters as to how to go about against this quick bowler, Ritesh Bhalani. Skiddy customer, also gets some swing in the air away from the right-hander. Need to negate any kind of swing. It's played towards cover. At the bottom of the bat. Ball didn't even reach the fielder. But Harshit knows that the total is not really daunting for them to try anything silly. You know, a couple of good overs here and there will get the required rate down to below 6, which it already is somewhat. This time outside off stump, slashes it hard, but beaten him up completely. It's been a very good start here. So at the end of the first over, it's 2 for none for the strikers. The second over of the game. It's going to be bowled by Kamesh Shah from the pavilion end. First ball. Driven back past the bowler. Very well fielded. Extremely well done by the bowler. Never easy to stop in their follow through for a medium pace, and that's what he's done here. Dive to his left. This time again driven firmly down the ground towards long off. There is protection in the deep. It's going to be a single. And the first signs of dew quite evident. Ritesh Bhalani standing at long off. Bowled a fiery first over. Really quick off the blocks as well. Oh, this time trying to play across the line. Beaten him. Kept a little low. Trying to heave it on the onside. Missed the line, I reckon. Some changes being made in the field. Really exciting game of cricket here on our hands. This time in the air, in the gap as well, but misfielded. A lot of yes and no's happening in the centre. But in the end, no run taken. Was outside off stump. Played with hard hands. The ball going in the air for a bit. Missed by the fielder at point. And covered by Vimarsh Parekh. No run taken. It's 3 for none, and it's just the start that the United Gladiators wanted, not giving away a lot of runs. A wicket here would certainly put them on top. Oh, and it has! Look at that! A brilliant Yorker by Kamesh in the block hole, and Harshit Jain. His short stay at the crease comes to an end. Didn't disturb the scorers at all. He's out for a duck. And pressure now mounting up on the blazing strikers. The new man in, Captain Vishal Patil. So much pressure in a low scoring game as well. 118 all out. The United Gladiators. Phenomenal bowling. From the off spinner. Aniket Vanjare picked up 4 wickets. And now chasing 119. First ball, Vishal off the mark straight away towards long off. Beautifully driven down the ground. Good way to open his account. And that's the end of the second over as well. It's 4 for 1 at the end of 2 overs. Certainly a lot of pressure on the captain here, Vishal Patil. He's led the team phenomenally so far in this tournament. It all comes down to this. The quarterfinals is the first knockout game that they are playing in this tournament. There were a lot of league games, 108 league games played overall in this Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. And this is the third knockout match overall. Silver category. 2 have already been played between the JBC and Golden Stallions and AB Warriors. The first quarterfinals won by the Stallions in super over right in the end. And the second quarterfinals was between the Svkm'S Dynamic Strikers, who comfortably went through to the semis by beating the Roaring Lions last night here at the Air India Sports Club. But this third quarterfinal between the USGS United Gladiators and the Svkm'S Blazing Strikers is a match on. Down the leg side. No chance for the wicketkeeper as well, but he's got protection at fine leg. It's going to be wide. And also a single taken. He's got the pace here. He's got good pace, mind you. Ritesh Bhalani. He's got a good follow through, good run up as well. If he gets the ball in the right areas, I'm sure he's going to be asking some serious questions to both these batters. Pankit on strike. Who plays it down the ground towards mid-off. He wanted a single, but He was sent back by the non-striker. It was hit really firmly and straight to the fielder, to be honest. Because if they would have taken that single, it could have been a close call. And that's the last thing you want here, a run out. Because this game is not really lost. It's still a low-scoring game. This time playing across the line and he's bowled him. The pace that we were talking about. Ritesh Bhalani. Skiddy customer. Bullseye. And as you can see, a back of a leg delivery. Trying to play across the line, something that he would be really, really disappointed by. And Pankit has to go back to the pavilion. It's 6 for 2. And the game just got interesting. Two wickets down here for the blazing strikers. A wicket apiece for Ritesh and Kamesh. The two new ball bowlers. Brings in Rajesh Jain. And that's down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. A diving effort by the wicketkeeper. He did really well to stop the ball. Because Ritesh bowls really quick through the air and off the pitch as well. You need to be really switched on as a wicketkeeper at all times. Backbone of the whole playing team. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery outside off stump. Another quick ball. I was having a chat with the strikers coach, who told me earlier that this guy is the man to watch out for, Ritesh Bhalani. If somehow the SVKM Blazing Blasters navigate his pace and get away with those 4 overs, they can easily win this game. But certainly he too would be feeling the pressure, because this is not the start that he would have expected from his side. And Ritesh has already picked up a wicket. Running in hard. Beats him again. That's very, very well bowled. The batter has no clue whatsoever. The ball moving in both directions. Primarily away from the right-hander. And the pace is such that if the bat speed is not right, if you've not picked the length up, there's no chance you're going to get any kind of bat on it whatsoever. Time, full length delivery towards cover, and that's missed by the fielder. Extra cover. Should be a single. They're going back for the second. That's very, very good running by Captain Vishal Patil, who was running at the danger end. He gave an early call of 2. What certainly should have been a dot ball. It's gone for 2 bonus runs, and you would not want that. Sunny Nagpal would be so disappointed. Ritesh, last ball of his over. This time he plays it down the ground towards mid-on, and that should be the end of the over. 3 overs, 9 for 2. Three overs, 9 for 2. Pressure, pressure, pressure here. SVKM blazing strikers. They're feeling the heat. The quick bowling of Ritesh Balani and the accuracy of Kamesh Shah. It's enough to disturb. Fourth over now. First ball, full toss outside off stump. Played towards long off. Vishal Patil looks really compact and technically sound. He played the perfect cover drive on that occasion down the ground. Packed offside field. Long off and a deep extra cover on the offside. That's very, very well bowled by Kamesh. Look at that accuracy. He's bowling really well. Mighty impressed with the fight back that the United Gladiators have given. Kamesh is not as quick as Ritesh, but certainly very accurate. Look at that. Outside off stump again. Tried to cut that ball. Got a handful of it, but straight to the fielder at point. They'll run through for a single. That's good running by Vishal Patil. He's always aware and agile. At all times, he knows that the boundaries are hard to come and the singles are going to set the tone for the game. 11 for 2 now. It's the last over of the mandatory power play. 4 overs. Outside off stump, lets it go. That's a wide ball. That was way outside off stump. Umpire signalling it as wide. Like we all know, the Bayside Sports School Dad's Cricket Championship has some different rules, 4 overs mandatory power play, 2 overs optional batting power play between 11 to 16 overs can be taken. This time driven down the ground firmly. It's a long chase for Ritesh Balani. Can he stop the ball? Yes, he can. He's very quick off his blocks, but he won't be able to stop the 2 runs that are taken by these batters. It's good running between the wickets. It's good cricket all around. Over pitch delivery. Driven down the ground firmly. There was silly mid-off in place. Deepak was standing at short mid-off or silly mid-off. It was driven firmly down the ground. Ritesh had to cover a lot of distance to stop the ball, and he did. The captain, Vishal Patil, is on strike. Who drives it again. Beautifully played. Look at that for technique. All the youngsters, take note from this class act, Vishal Patil. Certainly deserved more than a single, but the fielders are perfectly placed. Stem down the leg side, and that's going to be a wide. It's the first extra. In fact, the second one conceded in this over. The required rate slowly creeping up to 6.5. It was just the start that the United Gladiators were looking for. Couple of wickets up front. Oh, that was another chance as well. It was in the air. There was a fielder at mid-on. Outstretched hand, but just evading the fielder inside the circle. And once it's past the fielder inside the circle, there's no chance for him to recover. That's the first boundary of the bat of Rajesh Jain. So at the end of 4 overs, it's 20 for 2. 4 overs, 20 for 2, change of ends. Longer break than I expected, but get back to action. Sunny Nagpal now will be bowling from the far end. The captain bringing himself on in the attack. A left arm spinner. And straight away creates an opportunity. There was a catch opportunity there at cover, but manages to get away with it. Vishal. He has to bat through the innings. He has to take the team home. The captain of the SVKM Blazing Strikers. On the non-strikers end right now. Rajesh Jain is on strike. Just having a glance at the field. There's a square leg, short third man, backward point and a cover inside the circle. All the others are on the boundary ropes. Sunny Najpal. This time back off a line delivery. Cuts it really well. Towards deep extra cover. There is a fielder in the deep. It should be just a single. Again, changes made in the field now. A lot of running happening all around. Because every run matters. You know. You don't want to give up those singles cheaply. You want to protect the boundaries as much as you can. Along with it, take those wickets at regular intervals. Sunny now. This time plays on the onside. And again, it's going to be Rajesh who's going to come back on strike with that single. Sunny. Oh, reminding me of Ravi Ashwin there. Stopping in his run-up just to see if the non-striker is going out early or no. And this time, back of a length delivery. The ball kept a little low. But the keeper very, very quick to dislodge the bails. The first quarter-final that was played yesterday in the silver category ended up in a tie, which then led on to a super over, eventually won by the JBC and Golden Stallions. Well, this game, another interesting one. A low-scoring affair is always a close encounter. And so far, it's looking like it. 23 for 2, the 5th over of the game. This time onto the leg side, very well tucked away. Should be a couple of runs. Easy 2. The wicketkeeper had to run all the way to stop them from taking more than 2 runs. It was not a bad delivery. It was right at the middle stump, but Rajesh shuffled across the line and tucked it towards short fine leg. And like I said, there is some dew at offer here, which will make it exceedingly difficult for the spinner to grip the ball. This time outside off stump again, tried to cut the ball. Umpire a little late, but signals it as a wide. Not happy Sunny Nagpal, but he knows that it was a little outside off stump. Tried to reach for it, Rajesh. Last ball of the 5th over. Sunny to Rajesh. Oh, that's very well bowled. A good end to the over. 6 coming off it. It's 26 for 2 at the end of 5. 5 overs, 26 for 2. Kunal Lakhani. It's going to be bowling from the far end. He'd want to create the pressure on these two batters. Rajesh and captain Vishal Patil. Oh, and what a delivery! There's a huge appeal. Oh, that was such a close call. Such a close call. Playing across the line. And straight away, the captain Vishal at the non-striker's end walks up to his batter and tells Rajesh, you don't need to play across the line, my friend. It'd be much better if you had played with a straighter bat. Somehow, Rajesh still on the crease after a very close shout. Oh, that's very well bowled again. This guy, a lot of tricks up his sleeve. That kept straight into the hands of the wicketkeeper, and he was quick to dislodge the bails again. I've seen good glove work here, fine glove work here by all the wicketkeepers so far in the Bayside Sports School Dads Cricket Championship. Kunal Lakhani. Sam down the leg side. Very difficult for the wicketkeeper to get any sort of collection, and a couple of runs here as well. Should be wide as well. So, a lot of extras being given away by the United Gladiators, and I think that's the only thing that is a worrisome point. You know, the extras. First we saw Ritesh straying offline a couple of times here and there, and now Kunal Lakhani looks like a very good bowler. Action certainly deceives a few. He's bowling over the wicket. And that's better. That's much better. The perfect line. There is protection. Square on the offside. A sweeper cover. A long off. 3 fielders inside the circle. Short third man point and a short cover as well. So he needs to bowl on the 5th stump. Just outside off stump. That's more like it. Very well bowled. Played through the onside towards long on. It's going to be a single. Captain Vishal will come on strike. 30 for 2 the score now for the Blazing Strikers. The partnership is needed here. Partnership is needed. Tried to play across the line. There was an appeal. And Vishal immediately pointing towards his dressing room and apologizing for this kind of a shot, because there are a lot of expectations of Vishal. He's the captain of this side. He's led this team phenomenally. Just needs to see off this game somehow. They've played so well in this tournament. We've reached the knockout stage. The quarter final. The winner will progress to the semis. You can't make a mistake here. And Vishal knows it best. As soon as he tried to play that shot and he missed it, just showed his hand and apologized to the dressing room. He knows the responsibility on his shoulders along with Rajesh. Both these batters need to keep batting as much as they can. Rajesh needs to play a good knock here. Oh, that's very well bowled again. Beats him yet again. That's very, very, very well bowled. End of 6 overs, 30 for 2. 6 overs, 30 for 2. The Blazing Strikers. They're in a spot of bother. One person that can bail them out is Vishal Patil, the captain of the Blazing Strikers. He's going to be facing Andy Bachawat. A leg spinner this time outside off stump. Tried to cut the ball. And starts with the dot ball. He's bowling slow through the air, Andy. That's the perfect pace at which you have to bowl on this pitch. You know, the slower the better. Look at that loop. Very well bowled. Speed in the batsman again. .30 for through. 7th over of the game. Oh, again going across the line. Beats him again. Very, very well bowled, Andy. Inviting the batsman to play the big stroke. Falling for the bait. Vishal Patil. Back to back. This time tucked into the onside towards mid-wicket. Running the first one really hard, but I think it should just be the one. The fielder at deep mid-wicket is really quick to attack the ball. It's been a good over so far. Just the one run coming off it. And that's not it. 4 deliveries have been bowled, out of which 2 deliveries were completely bamboozling for the batters. Andy to continue. Look at that loop. Wow. It's just brilliant to see. He's not offering any sort of pace whatsoever. And commendable accuracy as well. He's bowling outside off stump. According to his field, there are 3 fielders behind square on the offside. There's a point, there's a backward point, and a short third man as well. It's great, great, great captaincy by Sunny Nagpal. You know, he knows the strengths and weaknesses of his players. He knows the opposition as well. He also knows that if there is no pace offered by Andy, the batters can't do much. What an over this has been. Just a 1 run coming off it. Needs to finish the over well. Looks like a thinking bowler. Push this one a little quicker through the air. That's cut towards deep extra cover. End of the over. 2 runs coming off it. It's 32 for 2 at the end of 7 overs. Seven overs, 32 for 2. Kunal Lakhani into his second. The spinners have brought them back into the game. The bowlers, all around performance. Ritesh Kamesh with the new ball, and now these spinners have really spun them back into the game. Kunal Lakhani now. This time outside off stump, cuts it towards sweeper cover. There are 2 fielders behind square on the offside in the boundary. A deep cover and a deep extra cover. This is good captaincy. I'm loving the spirit of the United Gladiators. They are not going away, not giving up at all, fighting relentlessly. Are the United Gladiators. This time very well bowled and played down the ground by Captain Vishal Patil towards long off. Lakhani looks like a good bowler. You know, he has got the loop. He has the accuracy as well. What we've seen so far. He's bowled well. This time pushes it hard. Back off length and cut towards sweeper cover again. slowly and steadily. The SVKM blazing strikers notching up a partnership here. 29-run partnership between these two batters. They were in a spot of bother when the second wicket fell at 6 for 2. This time, trying to play a huge shot again. Again misses the ball. This is good bowling by Kunal Lakhani, inviting the batter to play the big stroke. Almost paid off. Look at that again. Very, very well bowled. The length is key. He's bowling just at the right length, where the batter has to decide either to go on the front foot or stay back. And if he stays back, there's no chance that he's going to get away. This time going on the back foot, trying to pull the ball. He's found the gap, but only to find a single. So the end of 8 overs is 36 for 2. Another economical over by the Gladiators. Eight overs, 36 for 2. Match on our hands. Andy, this time outside off stump, cuts the ball towards sweeper cover. Vishal Patil. He's taking the game forward. He's taking the game deeper as he can. 72 balls, 83 required now. Suddenly, the equation has changed. What looked like an easy chase, start of the second innings, has now just become very interesting. This time outside off stump again, trying to cut the ball towards short third man. It's going to be another dot ball. This is good bowling according to his field. And Rajesh really has no answer to this brilliance of Andy, because he's bowling slow. He's bowling just at the right length. And same as Kunal, you know, the length is such that the batter has to make a decision either to go forward or stay in the crease. Like that. Let's play it again towards cover. Another dot ball. It's been a good over, and this good captaincy. You know, the field that is set is exactly where the bowler is bowling. So both the bowler and the captain have to be given credit for this. And somehow the pressure still at large. This time in the air, chance of a catch, and he's missed the opportunity. Looked like a sitter at point. Gets away with it. Rajesh Jain has been very fortunate in this inning so far. A dropped catch by the fielder at point. Should have taken it, but the pressure still. This time it's played down the ground. There's a fielder there, and he's caught. You don't do that when you've just been dropped. And Rajesh, one shot too many. Trying to test his fortune with another big hit. Trying to break the shackles That is team we're in. He has to perish. Scored 15 of 21 balls. And a brilliant catch taken by the fielder at long on. He didn't have to move an inch. Straight down his throat. Third wicket falls for 39. And now the Blasters, in fact the Blazing Strikers, beg your pardon, are in a spot of bother. Three for 39, the seventh, in fact the ninth over of this game. The game has got so interesting that I have started fumbling here in the comm box, because what looked like a very below par total at the end of the first innings is now proving to be kind of a match-winning one, because the way the United Gladiators have got on and started this innings, you know, it's just phenomenal. The fight back and a slip in place now for the new batter, trying to cut the ball. And again Andy with the right length. 9 overs have been bowled, 39 for 3. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Kunal Lakhani continuing from the far end. Just good captaincy by Sunny. Very well bowled outside off stump. Cuts it towards sweeper. It's going to be a single. Tanpreet took a couple of good catches in the deep in the first innings. Has now come on to bat. Kunal Lakhani this time outside off stump, plays it towards cover. Another dot ball. The pressure is mounting up. The pressure is certainly mounting up on the SVKM Blazing Strikers. They need 79 now of 65 deliveries, 64 deliveries now with that dot ball again. Oh, that's very well bowled. They want a quick single. And somehow they run through for the one. 41 for 3. Captain Vishal Patil holding one end. And Tanpreet Sahani, who's just joined in, new at the crease. These two need to build a solid partnership if they are to win this game and move ahead and progress to the semi-finals. Mind you, this is the third quarter-finals of the silver category. First played between the JBC and Golden Stallions, and the Av Warriors won comfortably in the super over though by the JBC. And this time again outside off stump. Another attempt to play the cover drive and beats him again. That's very, very well bowled. Vishal Patil, who's batting for a very long time, still struggling somehow to find the meat of the blade. It's good bowling. Very good bowling by Kunal Lakhani. This time back of a line, trying to cut the ball again. A play and a miss for Vishal. It's been a good spell of bowling. The field perfectly set for outside off stump deliveries. Two fielders square off the wicket on the offside. Both on the boundaries. Same again. 3 times in a row. You've seen kind of a play and a misstroke. 10 overs have been bowled. It's 41 for 3 after 10. Ten overs, 41 for 3. The blazing strikers have an uphill task here. Slip in place now for Andy. He's in his third over. He's bowled really well. 2 overs. He's given away just the 5 runs and picked up the key wicket. Now he's going to bowl from the pavilion end. A very good delivery to start off the 11th over. 8 an over required now from here. 78 of 59. With 7 wickets in hand. Tanpreet along with Vishal Patil. Can these two get the team home? That's the big question. It's been a good fight back by the United Gladiators. Flies the delivery this time high in the air. There's a chance. There's a fielder there. But the ball will fall short. One bounce to the fielder. And it's going to be a single. Captain now back on strike. Vishal Patil. Trying to play across the line. Tanpreet. It's not an easy ground to chase totals on. You often see teams losing wickets like a pack of cards. This time again, back of a line delivery. Turns, square him up. It's very, very well bowled by Andy. It's not giving any sort of pace whatsoever. And the length is such that it's not easy. Something that I've been saying quite continuously and constantly for these two bowlers. Very, very well bowled. Again, flights it. It's in the air, but will fall short of long off. A few bounces before the fielder gets to the ball. He's not giving any sort of pace whatsoever. Looks like it's very easy to bat when you're facing Andy, but certainly not. The flight is such, invites you to play the big strokes. And once you've committed to the shot, you've halfly given your wicket away. Just like that, very well done by Tanpreet. Plays it down the ground for a single. There's good bowling by Andy as well. They need boundaries. They need a couple of boundaries here in the coming overs. It's very well bowled. There's an appeal there, but the umpire says not out. Another good over, economical over, 3 of it. It's 44 for 3 after 11. (11 overs, 44 for 3. The silver category, third quarterfinals to be played today between the United Gladiators and the Blazing Strikers. 9 overs, 75 required. Change in bowling now. Deepak been played into the onside. There's a fielder there at cow corner. Going to be just a single. Bringing on another spinner. This pitch has been a little slow and low in both the innings. The captain Sunny Nagpal making the right decision, bringing on another spinner. This time played down the ground. There is protection in the deep. It's going to be another single. The Gladiators will not mind these singles. 6 and over will not do any harm to them. The SVKM Blazing Strikers, they need boundaries here. They need a boundary and over. It's not easy to bat on this pitch. Sam plays into the onside. Should be another single. It's good bowling by Deepak. He's bowling according to his field. He knows that he has two fielders on the leg side. A deep mid wicket standing near cow corner and a long on. There's a long off in place. A deep cover and a deep extra cover. 5 fielders on the boundary. Same out. Side the off stump driven through the covers. There's a deep cover in place. It's going to be a single. Slight misfield, but there was a good backup by Vimarsh. 48 for 3. Tanpreet Sahni and Vishal Patil. They need to get going. It's the 12th over of the game. The required rate creeping up to 8.5 an over. Deepak bowling around the wicket this time. A flighted delivery. It's been played down the ground. Fortunately, the fielder got a good bounce there. Straight into the hands of the fielder at long on. Scored run a ball in this over. 5 runs coming off it. 1 ball remaining. Can they get a boundary here? No, they cannot. It's going to be a single. Oh, there's a direct hit. There is an appeal. But looks like Tanpreet had made his ground. So at the end of 12 overs, it's 50 for 3. 8 overs, 69 required now with 7 wickets in hand. Sunny Nagpal coming from the pavilion end again. This time tries to play it on the onside. Didn't get any sort of connection on it. Starts off with a dot ball. Left arm spinner against 2 right-handers. Seems to be a perfect move here. Can Vishal get that boundary that they need? The boundaries have certainly dried up. This time plays it through the covers, and it's got to be another single. Slight misfield by the bowler himself. Should have been a regulation stop, but gets a single there. The last boundary came in the 4th over of this game. It's been 8 overs of drought. Played towards cover, another quick single taken there. And Sunny wouldn't mind these singles, as long as the boundaries have dried up. This time played down the ground, very well struck. But there is a fielder again. It's just been that kind of a day for the SVKM blazing strikers. Whatever they've hit, wherever they've tried to go, There has been protection and a fielder in the deep. This time it's in the air. Chance of a catch. It's a difficult chance. He's tracking back Sunny Nagpal. He thought for a moment that he has in his range. But in the end, ball just going away and away from the bowler. This time outside off stump, lets it go. He was expecting a wide ball, but the umpire unmoved. And that's the end of the 13th over. 54 for 3. Another economical over. 4 coming off it. 7 overs, 65 needed now for the strikers. Deepak Mudgil round the wicket. He's given away 6 runs in his first over. He would take that any given Sunday. 9.2 now the required rate. They have to get going. 7 overs, 42 balls remaining. 65 to get, 7 wickets in hand. It's now or never for these two batters. Tanpreet Sahni on strike. Vishal Patel has played 33 deliveries for the 19 runs that he scored. No boundaries hit by him yet. It's been 9 overs, 54 balls since the last boundary was hit. And that was hit in the last ball of the 4th over. There's so much pressure riding here on the blazing strikers. They bowled really well in the first innings, but now uphill task. Plays across the line. A catch opportunity dropped by the fielder at mid-wicket. And Tanpreet gets away. A chance goes begging. There was a fielder in the deep, so another single. Vimarsh Parekh at mid-wicket. He's a good fielder, but was fiercely struck by Tanpreet. Used all his powers there, all the timing. Dead ball there. Wasn't ready, the batter. 55 for 3. The 14th over in progress. This time he goes down the ground. He's completely miscued it. But it'll fall again in no man's land. He wants the second chance of a run out. But the throw was a little wide by Sunny Nagpal. Somehow, these two batters have to get those boundaries. 63 required now. Of 40 deliveries now. $119 was the target. Playing across the line again. A swing and a miss. There's an appeal there. But Freddie Mistry, the umpire at square leg, says not out. 56 for 3. Tanpreet Sahni batting on 9 and Vishal Patel on 20 of 34 deliveries. It's been 57 deliveries since the last boundary was hit. Deepak bowling round the wicket. 2 fielders in the deep on the onside, a deep mid wicket and a long on. In fact, a cow corner as well. This time played towards the fielder at deep mid wicket. It's going to be just a single. They would happily give those singles away as long as the boundaries have dried up. Deepak in his second over has given away 9 runs. 1.4 overs for him. This time he goes, tries to go across. Completely missed the delivery. Another dot ball. He's played 35 balls. Vishal Patel scored 20 runs Last ball of the 14th over. 57 for 3. They have wickets in hand. Need to go big. Play it down the ground. Straight to Saini Nagpal. And it's going to be a single. So the end of another successful over from the United Gladiators. 14 overs. 58 for 3. 6 overs remaining. 61 to win. The batting power play has commenced. 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. There's a deep point and a deep third man. All that the bowler needs to do is bowl full and wide. On strike, Vishal Patil, 36 balls, 21. And Tanpreet Sahni at the non-striker's end, 10 of 14. Ritesh Bhalani, the bowler, is going to be bowling in the power play from the pavilion end. Trying to play across the line. There's a loud appeal. There's a huge appeal. But the umpire says not out. The ball was straying down the leg side. He's got good pace here. Ritesh. Got a quick arm action. And the length at which he bowls. It's not easy to play it on the up. Trying to go across the line again. There's another appeal, but the umpire denies yet again. Leg byes signaled by the umpire. The ball seems to be too quick for both these batters. Skidding off the surface. Certainly the dew has played a major role. 60 required of 33 deliveries now. They've tried to take the game deep, but this is the moment where you need to change gears, need to accelerate. First signs of intent from Tanpreet. Plays it down the ground, very well fielded by the fielder at mid-on. Keeps it down to 1. 60 for 3. It's the 15th over of the game. Ritesh. This time outside off stump, tried to cut the ball. Didn't get any sort of timing on it, Vishal. It is going to be another single. So 22 of 39 deliveries. He needs to get going, has already batted for quite some time. This time playing across the line and he cleans him up. Good pace by Ritesh Bhalani. Tanpreet Sahni has to take the long walk back to the pavilion. Failed to score a boundary in over 10 overs now. And that's what pressure does to you. The batting power play. where you have two fielders outside the 30-yard circle. Tried to cash in on it. Tanpreet played across the line and now has to depart. .58 required of 31 deliveries now. Last ball of the over. 31 balls, 58 required. New man in this pressure situation. Usgs. Another quick delivery, this time onto the pads. That's flicked into the gap. It's going to be runs. Could this be that boundary they were looking for? Well, that stopped just before the cushions. And the end of another successful over. 63 for 4. The last over of the batting power play starts off with another dot ball. It's been the story of the day for SVKM Blazing Strikers. The dot balls have mounted up the pressure. Vishal Patil has played 40 deliveries for his 22. Kunal Lakhani in his final over has given away 10 runs. Hasn't picked up a wicket yet. He's been very economical. It's time. Plays across the line, plays it down the ground. It is going to be a single. .64 for 4. Cuts it through the offside. It's into the gap. And a welcome boundary after 11 overs. Usgs, he was the missing piece of the puzzle for the SVKM Blazing Strikers. Short and wide by Kunal Lakhani. Pounced on it. And Saste gets a boundary. 27 balls, 51 required. Cricket is a game of uncertainties. Anything can happen in it. As long as you believe. Kunal Lakhani. So I'm playing across the line. There is a fielder at cow corner. It's going to be another single. Vishal Patil calling for a new bat. Hopefully This bat will help him find those boundaries that the team wants him to find. He's played 41 deliveries for 23, 69 for 4. The score for the SVKM Blazing Strikers. 50 required of 26 deliveries. Kunal in his last over. He's bowled really well. None for 16 in 3.4 overs. This time, plays it into the gap. It's going to be at least a couple of runs, if not more. Runs back for the second. That's a good throw from the deep, but Vishal makes his ground. It's been a good over. After some time, they've got an over exceeding 6 runs after a very long time for the Blazing Strikers. The last ball of the power play, the batting power play. Tries to go across the line, and that's it for Vishal Patil. He has to go back to the pavilion. 25 of 43 deliveries. Not his best performance. Trying to play across the line. Trying to eye the boundary on the leg side. And Kunal Lakhani provides the crucial wicket of Vishal Patil. 16 overs have been bowled. 71 for 5. Blazing Strikers. Four overs remaining. 48 required. 12 and over from here. Saurabh Daga, the new man in. Abhijit Saste will be on strike. He's on 7 of 3. He's already hit a boundary in the previous over. The power play is over. The batting power play is done. So now, 5 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. A maximum of 5. Playing across the line. Andy brought into the attack. The leg spinner flights the ball. And Abhijit trying to play across the line. Completely beats up. It's nice loopy deliveries by Andy. He's bowled really well today. 1 for 8 in his 3 overs. And starts off the last over with the dot ball again. This time he gets the ball to short third man. There's a chance of a run out. Oh, there was a miscue in the centre. Abhijit not at all impressed with the non-striker Saurabh Daga. But in all honesty, it was Saurabh Daga's call because he was running to the danger end. And in this situation, the team needs to run off everything that comes off the bat. It's been a great comeback by the United Gladiators. This time playing across the line. It's gone in the air. It's falling in no man's land again. It's going to be a single. And Daga, he'll come on strike now. He's a left-hander against a leg spinner. You have to wait and see what he does. It's time. Daga sweeps the ball. And he finds the boundary. Very well played. Very first ball that he faced. Sweeps behind square leg. Beautiful shot. There's no pace on offer. He had all the time in the world to find the gap. And he did. What a way to get off the mark. Immediately the captain making the field changes. Puts the short fine leg there in place. "20 balls, 43 required now." Daga trying to cut the ball. And that's going to be a wide. Each run being cheered by the dugout. They know there's still time for a comeback. Time plays the reverse sweep. What a shot! What a shot by Daga. Finds the boundary again. Oh, that teased the fielder, toying with the fielder. These kind of boundaries hurt more when you're running behind the ball, giving it a long chase, and the ball just wins the race in the end. More importantly, back-to-back boundaries for Daga there. 81 for 5 now the score. 38 needed of 19 deliveries. We sure have a match on our hands. Can Daga take the team home? He's got a few shots in his book. Last ball. Oh, an inside edge again. Don't know if there was any bat involved, but at least a couple. Abhijit is coming for the third, but sent back, rightly so, by Saurabh Daga. End of a successful over. 83 for 5 after 17 overs. And a brilliant spell by Andy coming to an end. 1 for 20 for him. Outside off stump this time. Very well bowled by Sunny Nagpal. We'll have to wait and see. Dead ball signaled by the umpire. Didn't offer a shot there, Abhijit. And I think he was not really ready for the ball. This time trying to play across the line, inside edge. They'll run through for a single. Saurabh Daga on strike now. Can he be the finisher for his side? He's batted well so far. 8 of 3 for him. He's tried every shot in the textbook. More importantly, a left-hander against a left-arm spinner. Always a challenge for the bowler. There's been a scarcity of left-handed batters in this tournament. However, in this game, we've seen a few of them. 84 for 5. Full toss into the gap. Should be a single at least. Just the one there Abhijit back on strike. They need a 6. They need a big hit here. Abhijit this time cuts the ball, but straight to the fielder at cover. It's going to be a single again. This time Saurav plays it back to the bowler. Dot ball. Crucial dot ball here in the context of the game. 33 required now of 14. They need a big hit here. It's now or never for the SVKM Blazing Strikers. Saurav Daga plays it onto the onside. Can he find the gap? Oh yes, he can. It's going to be a chase for the fielder at deep back of square leg. Somehow he cuts it off. And a good throw as well in the end. But Daga quick between the wickets. Comes back. Gets the strike. 31 of 13. $88 for 5 the score for the Blazing Strikers. Sam outside off stump, lets it go wide, signaled by the umpire. Sunny is not pleased with the decision made by the umpire, but Freddie Mistry, very experienced campaigner. This time, plays the ball towards deep point. There is a fielder there. It's just going to be a single. They wanted the second, but it's better that Saurabh keeps strike. 90 for 5 after 18. 29 of 12 required. .29 required of 12 balls. SVKM Blazing Blasters. Saurabh Daga. Beg your pardon, Blazing Strikers. 12:29 required. Saurabh Daga is asked to bat lower down the order. Seems like it's a little too late. Uphill task here for the Strikers this time. Daga plays it to the fielder at cover. Good pickup, a good throw, and that's out. Abhijit has to go back to the pavilion. Run him out. A good throw by the fielder at cover. Quick to dislodge the bails. Kamesh Shah is keeping wickets now. 90 for 6. 29 needed of 11 balls now. Pulling round the wicket, Deepak now. Played down the ground, hits hard. Should be a single. Saurabh wanted a second, but in fact, Rohan wanted a second, but Saurabh sent him back. Saurabh, it's more important for him to be on strike. He's a player who can find those boundaries. It's bowling over the wicket to Saurabh. Plays it onto the onside. It's very well fielded off his own bowling by Deepak. Very well done. It's been a very good over. 92 for 6. Rohan Pitre needs to swing one. He needs to get a 6 here. There's too much pressure on the SVKM blazing strikers. Deepak has bowled 3 deliveries in this over. Has bowled a good spell so far. None for 12 for him. It's played down the ground. Chance of a catch. Oh, he's almost stopped it. Very, very well fielded. He almost caught it off his own bowling. Look at that commitment. You can only see this at the Bayside Sports School Lads Cricket Championship. Plays it this time down the ground in the air. There's a chance for the fielder, but the ball will find the boundary. And Rohan Pitre, a little too late. A boundary down the ground by Rohan Pitre. 96 for 6 now. 23 required of 7 deliveries. The game played yesterday, the first quarterfinal of the Silver Group, ended up in a tie. Last ball goes down the ground again, but there's a fielder there again. That's the end of the over. 22 needed now of 6 balls. 19 overs gone. It's 97 for 6. The last over of the innings, 22 required. Ritesh Balani, one of the quickest bowlers in this year's Bayside Sports School Lads Cricket Championship. 22 of 6 deliveries required. There are 4 wickets in hand. It's 97 for 6. Ritesh Bhalani is going to be bowling to Rohan Pitre. The first ball. Swing and a miss. Tries to cut the ball. Doesn't get any connection whatsoever. And with each dot ball, the chances of qualifying, progressing to the semis, fading for the strikers. Up next, Simon to the pass as an appeal, and that's been given out. Played across the line, Rohan Pitre. Freddie Mistry gives that out. It was quick and full. Straight, plumb in front. 22 required now for the game. It's gone away from the Blazing Strikers now. .22 of 4 needed. New man in. Davindra Sahni bowled really well in the first innings, but now needs to hit 4 sixes. 3 sixes and a boundary will do as well. This ball can either mathematically make or break. Just checking the field once. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg. All in readiness. Steps out, plays it through the covers, and that's it, I think. A single here. 21 of 3 required now. Beautiful delivery. Outside off stump. He knew Devendra is going to be playing an aggressive stroke. Davindra, beg your pardon. Pulled the length back. Just gave a single. 21 of 3. Saurav Daga. In my opinion, Saurav Daga was just waiting and waiting for his opportunity. And sometimes, saving best for last is not the solution. Because there was too much to do for him in the end. Beautiful delivery. And that's been caught. Another wicket. Another wicket here for Ritesh Bhalani. It's his 4th wicket of the innings. It's been a super spell by Bhalani. It's bowled really quickly. It's not been easy for the batters to negate the pace of Suraj. Beg your pardon, Ritesh. It's his 4th wicket. He can take a fifer here. He has 2 balls remaining. Winning the match is out of question here for the SVKM Blazing Strikers. They bowled really well in the first innings. Got the Gladiators all out for 118, but in the second innings it was a different ball game altogether. The Gladiators stepping up, showing their character. Ritesh. Oh, brilliant Yorker. It's a bat-breaking Yorker kind of. Right in the block hole. He's taken 4 wickets already. 1 short of a fifer. Ritesh Bhalani. The last ball of the innings. 98 for 8 is the score. Oh, that's driven firmly through the covers. Will end with a boundary. They will cross the 100 mark. But they lose this game by 16 runs. And a comprehensive victory for the United Gladiators. Amazing comeback by the USGS United Gladiators.